This is the KAK Industry AR pistol, 4.75-inch barrel, something Han Solo himself would be proud to carry. Before we jump into this review, we want to remind you, please hit the like and subscribe button. Let YouTube know that you dig our content. In exchange, we'll provide you with a cringy gun meme. I got one around here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's right here. Ooh. So let's talk about the overview here. Now we've got an AR pistol. A lot of people are used to seeing pistols with braces on the end. This one does not have a brace. It simply has a buffer tube. It's a 4.75-inch barrel. And why would you do that? I think the main reason for it is concealability. Now this is a weapon that you can pull out of a small backpack or even like a map pocket in your vehicle, maybe even your console if you go with a shorter magazine, and have it ready to go right now. You don't have to do anything to deploy it. And so that's kind of the philosophy behind this type of setup. There are some drawbacks to it, but we'll get into that as we move forward. First thing that you're going to notice is the standard A2 style grip. The controls are also pretty standard. Fire control is only on the left, so this is not an ambi weapon. Pretty standard magazine release as well. Trigger, well, pretty close to mil spec. And then your charging handle is slightly better than the mil spec charging handle because you've got a left side only latch that's slightly extended. Of course, you've got a forward assist there. And then moving forward, here's where ergonomics get kind of important. I got a 2X hand, so it's about all I can do to get my hand on the front of this weapon. It is very small. And if I run this for more than a couple of magazines, I'm gonna feel it on my hand too. So overall, ergonomics are pretty good. It's very compact for the AR. Like if you're used to shooting ARs, a lot of the manual of arms is going to be the same, and the controls will feel exactly the same, but it's definitely different when it comes to firing it. Oh, something happened. Oh. All right, so diagnosing the jams that we're having here, I'm pulling this round out after mortaring it, and I can see there's some scarring on the actual bullet itself. The casing is fine, it's unmarred, but there's a little bit of scratching on the bullet itself. So I'm gonna clean out the feed ramps and the throat really well, and we'll see if we can pick it up from there. There we go. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. So now we've got a double feed. So we literally have an issue where one is already in. I can't even pull the charging handle, so I'm gonna have to mortar it. Got one in the chamber and one tucked up in there. There we go. Oh man. Okay, that is that's a bad day. It's still in there. Yeah, the extractor's not grabbing it.
All right, we got it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Some girls are bigger than others. Some girls are bigger than others. Some girls' mothers are bigger than other girls' mothers. Wow. So that one fired and it failed to extract. Get a good primer strike. The bullet is actually gone and it looks like the extractor grabbed it and sheared off. So I think we're having, I think the key issue is the extractor here. So we've had a number of failures to extract, so we're going to see if by replacing the bolt carrier group with the one out of the FoldAR, and I'm curious if that will resolve our issues. KAK industry bolt off to the side and see if that makes a difference in our performance. Right into it. Marvelous. Okay, so if we diagnose the issue as being the extractor, you've taken a look at the extractor on the KAK Industry bolt carrier group, you can see there's quite a bit of brass built up underneath there, like it sheared off the end of the casing. So it's definitely contributing to the issue. We just ran through a full mag on the FoldAR bolt carrier group and it was flawless. So we're going to continue on with the test, eliminating the potential faulty extractor as part of our issue. Some girls' mothers are bigger than other girls. There we go. Very nice. Okay, that's much better. Yes, I'll bet you have. Head over to pewpewtactile.com for the full review. Click the link in the description below. And so one of the things that I love about the AR is it is an absolute fight stopper. Now you've got a souped up 22 that is generally going at a pretty high rate of speed, and that's because of dwell time. Dwell time is the amount of time that the bullet travels between the gas port and the muzzle. And you can see that in the KAK Industry, the gas block is right here and the muzzle is right here. That might be 2.5, 3 inches. It's not very much dwell time at all. And the overall barrel length is 4.75 inches. So we're definitely trading some velocity in our little 5.56 round for some concealability. But we're going to use the chrono from Garmin and we'll find out just exactly what kind of velocities we're getting. All right, so we're going to use the Garmin 0C1. Love this chrono. It is so convenient. Doesn't have to be attached to your rifle and you don't have to shoot through any kind of apparatus and potentially have a major mistake. You just pull it out, turn it on, set in the parameters, and we're going to do that right now. So we're going with a new session. We're going to do rifle, and this is kind of iffy, but I'm going to go ahead and say 1700 to 5000 are grain, the 55 grain AAC, and we're going to hold 5 to 15 inches from the barrel. Here we go. Okay, 1778. 1912. 1757. Okay, so out of 5 shots, we're averaging just a little bit over 1700. One thing that's noteworthy about a gun this short, it is incredibly loud. And if you are out forward or even near that muzzle device, it's pretty bad. All right, so we're gonna compare this with the FoldAR. Now, you may remember that we reviewed this a while back, and it had some pretty impressive performance characteristics. Shooting sub MOA and still being able to be concealed in a backpack. And basically all you do is pull it out, attach this lever, ratchet it down, and you're ready to go. We're going to fire a full 16-inch barrel and look at the differences that we get in velocity using the FoldAR. All right, so let's see what kind of velocities we're getting out of a full 16-inch barrel using the exact same ammunition. 2989, look at that. Wow, okay, so almost 3,000 as opposed to the 17 to 1800 that we were seeing with the 4.75 inch barrel. So you do lose a lot of velocity. So we rely on AAC ammo for our 5.56 223 testing, and we have found it to be extremely accurate and reliable. Comparative analysis continuing on with what would be more concealable. I can definitely say that the folded and compressed FoldAR is shorter overall length by approximately an inch, inch and a half. However, it is thicker. You can see that folded, you know, you've got 2 widths there as opposed to the singular inch and well, maybe 2 inches with that charging handle. A width of the KAK industry. Definitely something to consider for the price, which FoldAR is quite a bit more expensive, and this one is a lot more thin, but effectively a little bit longer than the FoldAR. You might ask yourself, why would you take a 4.75 inch barreled rifle, AR pistol, to 100 yards? It's not for accuracy. I'm pretty hopeful that I'll be able to hit our target downrange, but the question that often comes up with shorter barrels is keyholing. Are you going to have a nice flat projectile that's going to penetrate like it's supposed to? I don't know. I'm curious myself, so we're just going to fire several rounds. I've got a blank target, a fresh target down there, and we're going to go down and take a look once we fire these rounds and see how it performs. All right, let's go check them out. Okay, so the question becomes, will it keyhole? And keyholing is essentially when the bullet tumbles. It doesn't strike going straight through. It's sideways or some other configuration other than just straight through. But you can see here, we've got all 10 rounds from 100 yards, and just using a red dot, not bad accuracy. I mean, that's 5-6 inches, but no keyholing whatsoever. All of those projectiles went absolutely straight through. So myth busted on that one. So we are actually going to do a bit of a compromise. We could shoot this at 7 yards like we normally do. In fact, I might do that, but I want to start at 25 and just try with the AAC 55 grain ammo and see how it does with a bag and a rest. All right, let's go check those out. All right, so we kind of did a hybrid test here where we set up on a 25 with a bench rest, and I wanted to see what kind of accuracy we could reliably expect, eliminating me as the nut behind the wheel, so to speak. And with 55 grain AAC, we're just over an inch on a 3-shot group. I loaded up some Spear Gold Dot, also 55 grain. The weapon cycles the defensive ammo grate, and we're right at an inch with that. And then we pushed into 7 yards, and just me unsupported. We have several inches here at 7 yards, 10-shot group. So I zeroes off a little bit, but you kind of get the idea of what kind of accuracy you can expect. The thing that you lose are 2 points of contact when you have an AR pistol. You've obviously got your left hand and your right hand, and you can try to secure it as much as you can, but that recoil is kind of out there in space. So that's not terrible accuracy based upon that distance. All right, let's talk about the trigger on the KAK Industry 4.75 here. It's very mil-spec. Little bit of travel before it actually breaks. I'll try to demonstrate that dry. A little bit of movement there, and then it breaks. Reset is very audible, very tactile, immediately upon releasing the trigger. Now let's load up and fire a couple. And then reset right there. All right, let's check it on the old Lyman digital gauge here. Pretty consistent. Average 3 pounds, 3.7 ounces. All right, we're going to jump into our final thoughts. But before we do, we want to remind you one more time, please hit that like and subscribe button. Let YouTube know that you dig our content. All right, final thoughts on the KAK Industry 4.75-inch AR pistol. Now, this is a very interesting application. I love the fact that you can have this stowed, ready to go, and it's pretty concealable. It's a little bit longer in comparison than the FoldAR, but it's certainly thinner. So as far as size, it's very concealable. The weight, again, like you would expect, it's pretty lightweight. That being said, you do lose dwell time. You do lose some velocity. We've roughly estimated about 300 feet per second. Does that ultimately make a difference? It's kind of hard to say without some terminal ballistic testing, which we weren't going to delve into today. I still would not want to be hit with a 5.56 round at 1,700 feet per second as opposed to close to 3,000. So that's kind of a trade-off there. Another trade-off is you don't have a lot of room to accessorize with this. You might be able to find a light application that could mount up on the M-LOK here. So you've got one section here that's pretty clean. Otherwise it's taken up by the gas block and the shielding just after the throat. So not a lot of options as far as that goes. And then the buffer tube, you don't have 4 points of contact like you would with a normal AR-15 rifle. Normally we have both hands, we have a contact with the shoulder, and then we have our cheek. So that makes controlling that recoil just a little bit more difficult. Now again, it's a 5.56. It's not a lot of recoil, but a lot of the recoil that you experience is gobbled right up if you have a good stance and good grip on both points of the weapon. And then that makes sighting a little bit different. This is a different manual of arms in the sense of how you actually acquire a sight. And it takes a little bit of practice bringing this up when you're not pivoting off a toe point on your shoulder or off of your collarbone. As far as compared to the FoldAR, when it comes to price, that's another big hit. This is right at $700, whereas the FoldAR is $2,600. Now, you're getting full velocity with the FoldAR and extremely good accuracy. But what we noticed about this one is that accuracy was not bad. At 25 yards, we were right at 1 inch. Even when we were out at 100 yards, which was ridiculous for this thing, at that distance with a red dot, still right around 5-6 inch groups while plinging away from MOA just to see if we were keyholing. which we also did not experience. So the question then becomes, is this something that you would use? We want you to jump down in the comments and let us know. When you have the idea of a $2,600 full-size rifle in the FoldAR that you get full velocity and all of the benefits of a full-size rifle, 4 points of contact, better accuracy, versus a $700 very compact, something that you don't have to put together and just can take it out and shoot. Is this something that you would use? Jump down into the comments and let us know. We appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.